Now, let's quickly move on to boxing. We talked about this last week. Dele, you were with me on the show, and we talked about the fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Now, it has been made official. The fight is scheduled for the O2 Arena in October in London. Now, we know that both guys are not fighting on the same weight level with the category. But as it is right now, there's so much at stake in this fight. Don't forget the legendary tussle between Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn back in the 90s. I think is the reason why the kids want to go head on right now. So, looking at this legendary tussle between these two families, how do you see this fight panning out? And mind you, Chris Eubank Jr. is quite old, is older, he's 32 years old, while Conor Benn is 25 years old. One is a super middleweight and he could fight in the middleweight level, and one is a welterweight category. So, how do you see this panning out, Dele?
Ladi, fortunately or unfortunately, it's going to be a catchweight bout. For me, it makes absolutely no sense because it means Chris Eubank is going to have to drop in weight category. It means that Ben is going to have to move up about 2 notches. It really doesn't make sense. These guys are going to be working extra just to make weight. And remember, they're also going to take their weight on the morning on the fights, which is unheard of. It's not something we hear of every time. What are they fighting for? For pride? Are they fighting for a belt? They're not fighting for a belt. So what are they fighting for? They're fighting for money at the end of the day. But whether I like it or not, my brother, pay-per-view is going to make a lot of money from these bouts. These lads are going to make a lot of money for themselves and for their family. But it's something that the UK people want to see. These are 2 big families when it comes to boxing. They have history. Their parents made lovely history in boxing, and they would like to see their kids fight as well. But for me, for those who actually love boxing, for those who understand the sports of boxing, it makes absolutely no sense to me.
And Femi, what's your take on the fight? O2 Arena in October. What's your take on the fight? Do you stand with Oshodi Glover?
And we don't show the there because I see this as just an entertainment show or something like that. Because there's no belt to fight for, nothing to fight for. They're just fighting for pride. Both families have engaged themselves in the 90s, so maybe the kids just want to rekindle that. A lot of money is going to come in. They're going to make huge bucks of money. So it makes no sense. To be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to the fight. I look forward to.
Well, if you look at the explosive nature of Conor Benn, and we know that Chris Eubank Jr. is a boxer who's also very, very, very fast hands in the rings, likes to throw the uppercut, likes to throw a lot of combinations. Don't you think that is something that UK boxing fans and world boxing fans should really be watching out for?
For entertainment, yeah. Okay. If you say for entertainment, yeah, fine. They could entertain us on a Saturday night. That's fine. Between both families, that's what we're looking at. Your dad beat my dad. I want to beat you now. So how are we going to do it? But there's nothing at stake apart from that pride. So whatever happens, good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Let me make reference. Yes, let me make reference to what we spoke about last week. We saw Bivol go up against Canelo the other day. Canelo has been untouchable ever since he lost to Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. When he went up against Bivol, he got a boxing lesson. Both of us laughed about it because he knew that he was out of his weight category, he was out of his league. Bivol was way, way, way above him. That is going to be the story in Eubank and the Benn fights. They're in 2 weight categories. Eubank is a killer in the ring. You know what he's like. Benn is a killer when he fights is in the weight category. But I mean, you're going up 2 notches, 2 weight classes. That is not 1 weight class, 2 weight classes. That's a whole lot. A whole lot. Like I said, why don't you go and fight Tyson Fury and you see what it's like? You're also a big guy, but I mean, it is what it is. It's different. It's very, very different.
You can't expect a welterweight to step up against an heavyweight. That's suicidal. Man. You don't even think about it, man. And then talking about boxing, still talking boxing. The fight between AJ Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk as in 10 days' time, actually. And don't forget that Anthony Joshua is now working with the brother of Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia has been in Anthony Joshua's camp for a while, and he said what he has seen of Anthony Joshua shows that he has everything. He has all it takes, to beat Usyk in this rematch in Saudi Arabia. But a lot of people had that belief going into the first match, and they got the shock of their lives. Now, do you think Anthony Joshua stand a chance against this man who wants to beam the fight to all uh, his countrymen for free? Do you think Anthony stand a chance in the, because I see it as a war? Now, do you think he stand a chance? Dele, oh no, not you, Dele. Wole is back on the show. Wole, what's your
Yeah.
take on that fight in Saudi Arabia? Anthony Joshua, Usyk.
Well, this is the make or mar fight for Anthony Joshua. I mean, for his sake, I pray he doesn't lose that fight. Because that would just spell the end of Anthony Joshua. There's no two ways about it. A defeat and Anthony Joshua's career is over. So for Usyk, I don't know. I'm still always very afraid of Usyk. He's someone when you check his record speaks for himself. So I wasn't surprised that he won the first fight. And trust me, Anthony Joshua didn't underrate him. Because who's going to do that when you look at Usyk's record? He was just head, shoulder, everything above Anthony Joshua in that first fight. Mm-hmm. So I don't know the miracle Anthony Joshua is going to do right now. I don't know how he's going to turn it around. It's going to be very, very difficult. This perhaps I see is the biggest fight of his career. It's the biggest hurdle he's ever faced. You are going to say something.
Dele, what can Anthony do to nick this fight? What can he do? I feel that something can be done.
Ladi,
Probably needs to change his fighting style. In my own opinion, yeah, I'll tell you, Anthony needs to fight tall. Anthony needs to use his height and reach advantage. Anthony needs to let his hand go. He must learn to throw combinations. You can't win Usyk by just looking for one lucky punch. You can't get a knockout with a lucky punch. You must throw combinations. That is what I think he should do. He should let his hand go. He should fight tall.
Ladi, Zimo, and Wole, I want you guys to quote me verbatim. If you have seen if you have seen Usyk fight in the cruiserweight category where he dominated for years, he was untouchable. He moved up to heavyweight and he's still unbeaten. He's world champion now. He has bragged about going back to cruiserweight just because he wants to fight against Canelo. He said Canelo is bragging too much. He wants to beat up Canelo and then go back to heavyweight. That man is oozing with confidence. Now, let me fast forward to the Joshua fight. If you had seen the Usyk Joshua fight, it was a boxing lesson. You can't give what you don't have. When it comes to boxing, the basics, Joshua cannot match Usyk. Joshua is a power puncher. Like you said, Joshua was just looking for one big punch in the first fight. You can't tell me between the space of then and now he has learned so much. I really don't care what he's learned, but my brother, he cannot be in Usyk's class. Usyk, the fight was postponed because of the war between Ukraine and Russia. Now, that's in the past, right? Usyk is back to training. Do you know how many people are behind Usyk? Do you have any idea how many people are behind Usyk? Usyk knows his metal. He knows what he's worth. He knows what he brings to the table. Joshua right now is living in fear, whether he like it or not. Like Wole said, he knows that if he loses this bout, that's the end of him. This is different from Wilder and Fury. Wilder and Fury was just one man. He's lost to who? He lost to the Mexican the other time. Who gave him a chance? Who gave the Mexican a chance? Ruiz Jr. Who gave him a chance against AJ? He lost to him. Lackadaisical attitude made him lose to him. He won his belt back. Then he lost to Usyk again. If he loses this, brother, between you and I, it's the end. But I pray for posterity's sake, he doesn't lose, because if he loses, the United Kingdom loses one heavyweight champion that will be in the limelight for a very long time.
And Femi, what's your take? What do you think Anthony can do? Are you going to go with Wole Opatola and Dele Glover?
You've always known my stand on Anthony Joshua. I've always tell you that offline, right? Anthony Joshua is not a boxer, right? It's not. I tell you from the beginning, when he was winning those fights, I still tell you, if he comes across a very good boxer, right, he's going to get beat. And that's what happened twice. This guy, like Wole said, this guy is very dangerous. And then put in your mind, this boy is coming from the war front in Ukraine. He's been fighting there. So coming to the ring to face Anthony Joshua is nothing to him, even if he loses that fight. But he wants to come there and beat Anthony Joshua. So I'm afraid for Anthony Joshua, but I hope he wins, but I'm not too sure. I can't guarantee it. To be honest, I'm gonna put my bet on Usyk, like I did the last time. I had my money on Usyk, and what happened? I got my pick.
You made some cool money for yourself.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Please,
I'm not.
please I'll be forwarding my account number to you, after the show.
No, because the boy
Wole, you're making so much sense, honestly.
The boy
Very
was so,
important.
and then if like Oshodi said, look at his record. From the previous category, he's untouchable. So I'm very sure he's going to beat Anthony Joshua again. I'm sorry to say, I'm Nigerian, but he's going to come back and teach him lesson. That's it.
You don't have to be sorry. You don't have to be sorry. You are Nigerian, but Anthony Joshua isn't. Yeah. Or is he Nigerian?
He's an Ijebu boy. He hasn't denied his Ijebu heritage at no time. Has he done that?
It's been to Buhari and Aso Rock and all that. I don't know.
Every time I read about him,
what are you about this afternoon? What kind of gift do you have?
Every time I read about him, I see Anthony Joshua, British boxer. British boxer. And that's a lot different from when I read about Samuel Peters. I see Samuel Peters, Nigerian boxer.
Was it?
Yeah.
You watch the British media after this fight. If he loses, they're going to link Nigeria. Yeah, they're going to link him to.
Come on, guys.
Just like Andy Murray from Scotland. He's British, but when he loses, the Scottish, But when he wins,
Scottish tennis player,
English, British, but so that's the way it is, But
let's move away from boxing, because the way you guys are moving now, I don't think I'm in support of it at all.